Hey, what's going on, world? It is your photographer's favorite photographer, Shamar. Yeah, you're here, Cherokee. Let's go.
It's Cherokee.
This is ghetto.
Hell.
Hey, hello, it's Rain. Hello, welcome back,
y'all. Ooh, you look so sexy.
And we are the prolific Misfits, back with another video for that ass.
For that ass.
Cue the music.
That's a nice song. That was lovely.
I don't like.
You don't like the new music?
My angles, I ain't got no lighting.
I mean, that's on you. And can you tell the people that you're the reason why we're late?
And welcome back.
So how's everybody doing? How's your week? Did y'all forget how our show runs?
You supposed to ask how's everybody doing? You supposed to be like fine, good, bad with us, and then from there we talk about COVID-19.
Yeah. How's your week? How you doing, Rain?
I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm here. Better week than last week, I'll say. So, yeah.
Good. How about you, Cherokee?
I'm here.
That's all you got.
What?
That's all you got.
That's all I got. It's a struggle.
Okay.
It's a struggle.
Is your light on over top of you, or
why? You didn't fix it?
Okay. Oh my god!
Nobody cares how my week is.
How was your week? Sorry. Yeah. How you doing?
I had Monday off. Today I had to sneak in. I was supposed to be off today. I didn't sneak in. They kind of yanked me in there. So I had to go in and work a couple of hours. But it's all right so far. So far, so good.
Good. And have you been dodging this crazy ass weather we've been having? Crazy.
I've been dancing in the rain.
Shit, have fun, y'all. It's cold.
It was extremely cold yesterday. Did the 20th anniversary shoot yesterday. That was pretty fun.
Oh, you said your 20th anniversary?
You tried it. I said I did a 20th anniversary. One of my top clients.
We need the soundbite. I feel like we need a soundbite. I need a bit of sometime.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out. I couldn't figure out how to do the soundbite prior to, I mean, but I got y'all. Kia left.
Well, damn,
how do you see when people are in here?
It says it at the top left. It shows how many people are watching.
I don't see nobody.
Oh, and it's us. Hey.
Oh my god,
that's cute. Okay, what about if I want to chat? Oh, there we go.
There's the comments. I was putting them on the screen too. Kia screamed rain.
Y'all
said we see your face.
Oh, it was really small. I see it. That's cute or whatever. Okay. All right. So it's Tuesday.
What'd you say?
Oh, I forgot. We can't talk at the same time or to cut out. I said COVID-19.
Got it. And then we want to get this rhythm right.
Right. This shit is lagged. Ooh.
So I think there's a disclaimer here where this is the first time we're doing this, right?
Very first time.
My cheeks hurt.
Boys, spit it out. COVID-19.
So COVID-19. Niggas are still dying. That's all I got. That's really all I got. Well, I would tell you this for all our locals, North Carolina, especially Mecklenburg County, has spiked again. Like the cases are high. And actually, this has been kind of weird because me and Rain went to eat earlier and we ate like at a table and it just felt so fucking weird to me.
Where did y'all go eat?
Eddie's place. You know what I'm saying? We had the shrimp and grits. It was really delicious. And then we had to specialize it, with a little sauce. Um, maybe added an egg, maybe some hash browns. It was delicious. It was good. It was good.
Oh, yeah, it was good. But it just felt weird being out there amongst the people.
Were you all socially distanced from each other's tables?
Yes, we were. Yes, the fuck we were.
Yeah. I mean, it was cute or whatever. And then we went to the Apple store and they shut that shit down.
Mm-hmm.
What you mean?
Like, they're not open. And Rain was very disappointed.
Yeah. I guess it makes sense being that, like, you don't want a whole bunch of people touching shit. I feel like the Apple store is like the place.
That's all they do.
That's right. Like, people don't even find shit and they be in there taking pictures and sending it to their friends. So, but I don't know. I wound up going to Best Buy and getting the questions that I needed answered. So, shout out to Best Buy.
Good deal. What are you in the market for?
I'm trying to get this MacBook. Well, I was trying to get a new laptop, period, but I wind up like asking about, of course, like the MacBook and stuff like that, and like the differences between the different generations or the one that I was interested in purchasing. And then they wind up showing me like a couple other different models that either do like something similar to what it is that I need it for, or just like had like additional shit. So like tablet stuff, and this one comes with a pen. So that was cool, but I probably will still wind up getting a MacBook because I'm hard headed, and that's what I had my mind set on. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and dump this money, which I'm not excited about, but it is what it is.
Wait, did you say you're gonna go with the MacBook?
Yeah. Because I just want to make sure that it lasts. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have time to be fiddling around, and then like with shit like this, you know what I mean? Like, I know what to expect. I don't have time to be worried about if my Lenovo camera is going to be fucking up my vibe.
Ryan, you talk a lot.
You what? I talk a lot. You see, now every time we wanted me to answer the questions, I always try to answer the questions. That's how I'm gonna be going on camera no more. I'm not saying nothing no more.
Like, answer the question and go.
I did. I thought we were talking. We were all talking, having a family moment.
No, you're the only one talking.
Shit. It's a family time.
Good stuff.
You have chips in there?
Oh my God. See, now they're gonna really what's up, John? Now they're really gonna get to see how y'all act behind the scenes.
So is that John?
What you do is eat food, drink, have some snackety snacks, all that. Hey, there's proof. You see it on the screen right there? You see it on the screen? There's proof, Rain.
Oh, wow. That's crazy because make sure you show all the comments too. Like, don't be just showing the ones that you like. Hey, John.
I'm in control of it. I show the ones I want.
That's some bullshit.
Really? You ain't gonna pull it together?
Wait, no, I was trying to bet my headset.
Okay, you want me to put you behind backstage?
No.
Oh. So, yeah. We'll get him back when he's ready. He's not ready.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, at any rate,
what's in your cup right now?
Just some wine, nothing crazy. We've had a very great dinner. Just needed something to just kind of just wash this all down, wash my troubles away.
Wash your troubles away. That's a
Yeah.
little luscious.
Say it again.
Washing your troubles away. That sounds a little lush-esque.
Well, I know John. He
Not
do.
necessarily. I mean, yeah. I mean, I just rather not fart up a storm on camera. If you like, that's all.
All right, cool.
Can I
Well,
say that? Can I say that?
this catch-up session has went on a little long, so I guess our topic at hand, we kind of left off that last episode of oh, my bad, best friend. I'm sorry, I started reading comments, people. We left off at the last episode talking about the guy Silas that was like enraged. And I brought up the fact that he stated that those LGBT people that assimilate the heterosexual world are nothing more than coons. And both you and Cherokee kind of agreed with that or confirmed that. So I wanted to open this conversation with, getting an understanding of why you all agree with that statement of coonery.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I didn't. Would you like to start on that, Rain?
Oh no, because I talk too much. So.
Feels relax.
No, Roberto, go first. Go first.
Well, I mean, so I guess, okay. So the men or the people who are easily able to, I guess, undetectable. That's what we're talking about, and why we think they're coons. Is that the question?
Yes.
I think because of the fact that I'm not going to say I agree with 100%, but I will say it is easier for someone who is able to live, who's able to dip and dip out, per se. I guess I guess the reason why the stylist is upset and why I can understand his upsetness is because he's very, I don't want to say clockable, but I mean you can tell he's gay, right? So he has lived, I'm guessing, a life where he's always been, I guess, out. Okay. So when those men or women who are able to camouflage their gayness, I mean, the ones who are clockable, we would say that it's coonery, especially if you're not saying that you're gay, or if you're not standing up for LGBT rights and you're
Well,
just kind of silenced with it. That's kind of coonery to me.
I guess we got to kind of define cooning or coonery. What are we saying cooning is?
My definition of coonery or coonery would be just, well, when I automatically think about it, I think about shucking. What is it? Shucking and jiving, and basically going with the flow of just going with the flow.
What do you think it is, Rain?
Well, one, let me just say, that I don't really like the word coonery for this, because when I think of the word coonery, I think about it in terms of, yes, shucking and jiving, but like at the like for the sake of like assimilating in like a white sort of in white spaces. So, but for the sake of the conversation, I mean, I guess it's I can understand what he meant in terms of like sometimes as gay people being cognizant of how gay you are in certain settings. And I think that for some of us, it's easier to do that without like pretty much like telling people like, hey, look, I'm gay, or X, Y, and Z. And then I think for others it's easy to kind of just like blend in I don't know whether they're doing it to just kind of get through the day or just stuff that they just picked up on. And kind of dancing, like going through that whole like duality of life, I guess. Um, I kind of understand what he was saying, but at the same time, I don't know if that's considered coonery or is that just like code switching. I think they might be a
Code
little bit
switch.
different.
It's funny you said code switch. So before I want to dive into code switch, but I did want to hear the definition of cooning or coonery from you guys because when I stated it with what he said and you all automatically agreed with it on the last episode, I kind of disagreed, because the way you just defined it now, yes, I agree with that's what cooning or coonery is, but I don't feel as though just because a person is in like Cherokee said, a person is not clockable. I don't think that automatically makes them a coon or they're automatically going against their culture. But let's get into code switch in a second.
But hold up. But if they
hold
don't
on
say
We got
anything,
one commercial break. Hold on 1 second. 1 second, guys. We'll be right back.
Is it pause?
See, y'all ain't know we had commercials. Look at her.
I was like, what's happening? What's going on? Is it pause?
No, we're here. We're live. They hear you.
Okay.
They
So
see you.
I was like,
They saw that good commercial. Make sure y'all visit AlanLoveStudios.com for Dab the Ink, the trilogy, coming out August 7th. Be ready. All right. What was that, Cherokee?
I honestly forgot. I forgot.
Hey, we gotta pay bills somehow. We gotta pay bills somehow.
I know, but I forgot. But I forgot. But look, it'll come back to me. Go ahead.
So let's get into, I guess, the thing of code switch. So code switch, again, we have to define that. When I hear that, it is, okay, I speak a certain way amongst my people. And then when I go into the office, I, lighten my voice. So I speak a little bit differently. Is that how you was kind of describing code switch, Ryan?
Yeah. And I think that as Black people, we do it in different ways, but to be Black and gay, I think it just really depends on who's in the room. So like for me, I know that I code switch, of course, like at work and stuff like that. But like I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry. I had 8. No, like there you go.
Cherokee,
In terms
you find your light, Cherokee. Find your light.
Oh my God, I don't like this.
oh my goodness,
Stupid.
shit, make it work, child. Make it work. No, I guess like for me, like in terms of like, I guess being like around more of my straight friends, there's just certain conversations that I would not have or like approach them a different way than I would like either with you or like with like my girlfriends or X, Y, and Z, like my Judy girlfriends rather, because I don't have those.
So you kind of accused me of code switching this past weekend. Shout out to John. We went over his house for a small intimate cookout, and Rain accused me of code switching, saying that I don't. What did you say? I don't key with my straight friends like I do with you all. Is that what you
No,
said?
I asked it in the form of a question. I asked, "Do you key with your straight friends?" Or do you key with your? I think I said, "Do you key with your homeboys?"
Homeboys. That's what you said. Homeboys. And I said that that's not my language. So for those that are watching that may not understand key, do you want to explain what key is?
Keying is like, when you like a little powwow, if you will. Talking amongst yourselves, in the form of laughter, jokes, roasting might be involved, shade, tea, wine.
No. No, that because everybody does that. Everybody roasts with their friends. They play dozens.
Right. They can't
But
do it.
but what you're really saying is you wanted to say when you're amongst the girls, when you're talking amongst the girls.
For sure. For sure.
So that's what I was explaining is that that's not my language that I typically use. I don't use girl. I don't use, bitch or the words that you all use in conversation. I have started using, some terminology because we are together. When you are amongst people and you all spend a lot of time together, I think you pick up some of their language. Like, hell, look at your profile name. Ooh, we picked that up from you a couple of months. But other than that, that's not what I normally would use. So just because I don't use that language with my homeboys does not mean I'm code switching. I'm being myself in every scenario. I do want to take it back, and this probably my brother might be a little bit upset with me on this one. But I am going to take it back to he would always tell me, Shamar, you need to relax. You need to be more comfortable. Pretty much ultimately, and I'm paraphrasing here, he always be like, you need to be more gay. You need to just be, and I'm like, this is my gay. This is what I do. I don't talk like that. I don't move like that. Those are the things I don't do. In his mind or from his perspective, it was me being uptight and not being comfortable in my skin. And I'm like, no, this is my skin that I'm comfortable in. This is how I maneuver in everything. Sometimes I would get frustrated. I'm not going to say I got offended by it, but I will say frustrated. And the reason why I didn't get offended is because I remember having those conversations with him of, you need to be a little more black. And he was like, this is my black. So his argument was, this is my black. And I'm telling him, this is my gay. Do you remember those conversations, brother?
Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
The whole thing or what?
Oh, the part when you said I had the conversation with my brother, you would say that I need to be more what? It just sounded like a. I'm so sorry. No, it was. I don't know if it's my phone. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't know. Make it make sense.
Oh God. You would have a lot of conversation with me about being more gay, relaxing, and using the terminology of the quote unquote terminology of the gays and being more comfortable in it. And I said I would get frustrated with that conversation, but I never got offended because I had realized that I used to tell you, you need to be more black. Your argument was, this is my black.
Yes, I remember that. And yes, so it's the same. It can be the same. And in my defense, I don't really think I said, or I didn't mean to say more gay because I mean, what does that mean? I just thought you were uptight, and I was like, you just need to loosen up. So if I say gay, I apologize. I mean, because I don't really know what that means.
Oh, so you don't know what that means, huh?
Oh, my light! Sorry.
Girl, you on camera.
I don't like this shit. I can't get comfortable.
You are.
But yes, continue, brother.
Beady little eyes.
Oh. Anyway, brother, continue. You were on to something. But yeah, that's I think that's what I like how you correlated that together. Go ahead. Shit, is my shit frozen? What's going on?
We're just reading comments, and I'm agreeing with the comments.
Oh, there are comments. Hold on, let me read. Let me get in this. He didn't hear anything. I sure did not, but whatever.
But I mean,
John said he code switching the drive-through. Girl, bye.
But I guess that too. I mean, you want to put your best foot forward, like
Where'd Shamar go?
I don't know.
Girl. Relax. I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back.
Wow. I
We
guess
are on live, but okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Rain.
I don't know. I mean,
Rain, I'm gonna let you
you
finish.
you
I'm gonna
code
let
switch,
you
I
finish.
code switch.
Rain, I'm gonna let you finish. But you said we on live.
I didn't even.
He
You
didn't
the
even
one.
start.
You the one that's
It's
not listening
like
to
I don't
conversation.
even have to try to get cut off, and I'll get.
I'm gonna let you finish, Rain. But Cherokee, we're on live, but you're the one that's not listening to conversations. Your light is falling on you. You turn to where you look like a silhouette. Don't be trying me. All right. What were you
Why
saying?
you gotta call that out? Like, what's up? Meet me outside. I didn't hear because my phone, something happened to my phone. I don't know. I am listening.
What was you talking about, Rain? What's good?
You so rude.
All I said was that you code switch, I code switch, we all code switch.
I don't think I code switch. I didn't agree.
I think so. I mean, and I'm not even saying in terms of like the Ken thing, but I guess I've also seen like you work like on the set versus like I don't know, like if we were to like go out to Thomas Street or some shit like that, you know what I mean? And it's not necessarily I don't think that it's a bad thing, but I think that um everyone kind of subconsciously knows like the power in just like putting their best foot forward when they're just out and about. And I think that when you're in a friend setting, it is a place where you can kind of just let loose and let your hair down. But like in different places, we just kind of approach we know how to secretly approach situations, especially like in this climate now where it's like, like I think that like when you see the police going down the highway and you're riding next to them and you're a couple inches behind them, I feel like that's a form of code switching too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not necessarily all about what you say, but just like how you move about certain situations where you're like consciously um changing or maneuvering or dissecting like your every move and your choices.
So I'm getting everybody does this.
Yeah, I think so for sure.
So then we can safely say that I guess there's no coonery when it comes to I guess the gays then.
Yeah, like in hindsight, it might have been the wrong word to use for what he was talking about, but I
Right.
understood again what he meant when he was saying it. I just think that he was just saying it back in a lot of anger and frustration because again of I guess like how he wears his androgyny and or like his femininity and stuff like that. I think that those people are easily targeted.
Yeah, I'm glad that you all are seeing it a little bit differently now. I guess that was the main challenge for me to go on a limb and say that someone is cooning just because of the way that they naturally act. Of course,
But at the same time, I think he's also stating that there are men and women who choose to go under the radar and not say anything with the LGBT community, or they ignore it, or they just don't, I don't know, acknowledge it.
do you think that what? Because I don't want to shift it to his entire argument of the LGBT community versus the Black Lives Matter movement. Black Lives Matter movement. I don't want to go there, but let's just
Why
specific
not?
because we've been there a lot, and I don't want to focus it on that. I want to focus it more so on the community in and of itself. Because remember when I stated that racism is a white person's problem to fix because they created it. If we feel as though that there are LGBT people in the community that are cooning or not fighting for the community, that's the people that have to fix that problem. So I don't want to mix the two, Black Lives Matter, LGBT. Let's talk about right now the community in and of itself. Is there a divide in it? Do we feel as though that there are some that are not um, supporting and uplifting the community?
I mean, I think that's with not all people, but I mean, first, just, I mean, again, being that we are Black, I'd just rather just like go there. I mean, in terms of the Black community, I think that it gets a little bit hazy sometimes. Like, I won't say that, I can't say that like, all Black people, or especially like cis hetero Black men, are against the LGBT community. Um, but what I will say is that, in terms of, I think I'm about to talk about exactly what you don't want to talk about.
You are. I'm glad you realized that. Because I was waiting for a moment to tell you that you're doing exactly what I wanted.
I'm gonna do it anyway. No. Yeah, I mean, but I feel like it's kind of hard to not. You know what I mean? Like, our experiences are also like encased in the fact that we are Black. So, and because of that, it comes with just a little, like, comes with layers. Like, how can we talk about our gay experiences and not talk about that experience in like the Black realm of things? Like, you know what I mean?
Go
Like,
for it. It says open chat, so go for it. If that's the direction you want to go in, then go in that one.
okay. So, can you repeat the question for me one more time?
No, I said the question. You chose not to answer that question. You want to go in a different direction. So
No,
go.
but like, because I just want to make sure we're on topic. But I mean, if you give me, fuck it, like, you know what I mean. Yeah, like, I think that in terms of like the Black Lives Matter movement, they sometimes are. I think that right now they're starting to zero in on the fact that, again, that even the movement itself has different layers and different pockets, that equality and like justice and all of those things, they lend themselves in different areas now, where we're seeing that trans lives are being taken, we're seeing gay lives being taken, as well as like female lives, like, you know what I mean? Like, so I think that the conversation is starting to shift in terms of, like, it might be funneling through the conversation of like systematic racism, but it starts to branch off into these other different areas, which I do find interesting and like very powerful right now. Like that kind of sense of, we are actually a community. But I think that in terms of what needs to be done in those fights on an individual level are very different, because we're not just talking about how racism affects us. Some of those problems um are attached to how we as Black men and women are raised in environment and X, Y, and Z.
I don't know what you're talking about right now, Rain.
That's
Like,
fine.
what's the? No, no, I'm not being funny. I just want to understand what point are you making in there?
I mean, I'm not necessarily making a point as much as I'm making an observation. Like,
Okay.
it's they're sometimes I think, again, that the fights are a little bit different if we're talking about, just being Black and gay, and being Black and trans, and being a Black woman and being a Black man. Some
So
of the problems are connected, but a lot of them aren't.
if we started the conversation with gay people that are assimilating the heterosexual world, they're coons. That's how we started this conversation. So if I'm gathering from what you're describing now, do you feel as though well, we've agreed that we don't think that they're cooning anymore, but do you feel as though those that do assimilate the heterosexual world, they're more so doing it because it's a safer space? They're not going to get that backlash that other more effeminate gay men or LGBT members would get?
I would like to say
Um,
yes.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
of course, you have some. You have that group that's just like, I'm just not that guy. Like, I'm not effeminate, and this is where I choose to be at. But you do have a lot of people, I think, just hide and just go with it. So yeah. Now, Well, yeah.
Yep.
Now, I mean, I know we did want to talk about this, but we already started talking about it with the All Lives Matters versus, the LGBT community. And I know the conversation we had the other day was that, it is essentially all our fight, you know, and we shouldn't divide each other, right? Uh, Shamar, right? That's what we kind of.
Yeah.
So, what I did think about, and I had to, because I do remember you were saying that, like, of course, we have that in our community where, there are some Black people who don't acknowledge the LGBTQ, but the point that we're protesting and whatnot is basically systematic racism and also police brutality, right, against Blacks.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And I heard you say, like, the LGBT, the alphabet crew, yes, we can fight, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that, but this is the forefront. We're talking about police brutality and Black
That's
lives.
how I
Now,
said. Okay.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry.
I said that's not exactly how I said that, but I'll let you. Do you want me to clarify what I said now,
Yeah,
or
no, go ahead.
so what I said was that just as racism, police brutality is the white person's issue to fix, we're just fighting against that. As far as LGBT and the Black community, that's the Black community or anyone that's homophobic. That's their problem to fix. That's what I stated. I didn't say we're going to put it on the back burner. I stated that, hey, if you're coming to a movement to fight against this issue, I think is a distraction to fight within the community of a different issue because I think they're two totally different issues.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm glad you clarified that because I was like, why are we putting that on the back burner? But I mean, I guess, I mean, what is, I hear that, but then, someone who is the stylist, again, he's upset. And I guess he's like, well, shit. Like, y'all gonna hear me, y'all Black people gonna hear me, everybody gonna hear me. Yes, I'm Black and gay and I'm mad. So I get that's the stance that I'm getting from him. Um, and I applaud it a little bit, but I mean I do applaud it. And I guess that's just his way of expressing himself or how he wants to protest. But the begin all this conversation, I think that when we had this discussion last week that me and Rain agreed upon is that, or I can say that I agree, I understand why he's upset. I understand why he, I guess, felt the need to put that, to have his sign out there like that. That's what's that is genuinely, I get it. I get it. Because he's mad. And maybe he's also mad because he can't assimilate. And then also thus he's probably not welcome in the Black community.
But I
If
don't
that
think
all
that
makes
that's.
sense.
But I mean, I guess the same way we look at getting the stamp of approval from like white people from as Black people, I don't think that. I mean, I don't know how I feel about seeking validation from people. I don't. I mean, seeking validation. Period. I guess like for who you are. I mean, I don't really know if I would subscribe to that either. Like, I mean, like if that's who he is and how he feels, then I mean, shit, shoot your shot, sis. Like, you know what I mean? I think that it's okay to kind of say exactly how you feel in any setting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it might not be the right setting for you, but for maybe the gay people that is there, it might actually mean something. I just don't know if it should be from a place of anger and uh I don't know, like how are we
Well,
able to
what I'm gonna say
I feel
is
like you have to be open to have that
first and
conversation.
foremost, I don't personally seek white approval or validation, and I hope that you were saying we as a collective.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just again talking about like um just like in general. I mean, I think that a lot of what we talk about is like not seeking that validation period, like in white settings and stuff. But again, I was just kind of using that as an example in comparison to what it might mean for a gay person seeking validation in like heterosexual, like regular everyday circles, like your local bar or your basketball, uh not
And
basketball show, but you know what I mean, where they play basketball at
Basketball game.
basketball games.
here's the thing that I have a concern with, or here's what I would say is yet another reason as to why I think it's two different things. Systematic racism, police brutality, those are things. Now, well, let me just start with systematic racism. Systematic racism, that is a tool that has been put in place to oppress us all, period. And will forever have us behind the eight ball and never be able to get ahead. Homophobia in the Black community, there's no power behind that unless you give it power. There's no, just because the Black community is not accepting who you love or who you have sex with or whatever, that's not oppressing you. That's not keeping you from getting a bag. That's not keeping you from doing whatever it is that you're doing or accomplishing, or it's not putting you, in my opinion, and you all can disagree, of course, but it's not putting any obstacles in your way for you to live your life with the person you want to live your life with. And the reason why I took police brutality out of it is because I already knew the argument was going to be, which I agree with as well. Not on police are in power and they are killing us, but there are people that are killing LGBTQIA as well. So I get that part. But as far as the systematic racism and the oppression of it all, homophobia as a whole doesn't oppress people, in my opinion.
Ooh, you think otherwise, Rain?
Yeah. Like, because it's home, like,
Tell me how.
I mean, I guess for me it's like, maybe because I've experienced homophobia in certain settings, right? So I think one time I gave an example of like the barber shop, right? Or even like for us, like if me and Cherokee were to go to the soul food restaurant and stuff like that, it's like you can hear the pin drop in the building and stuff. And people will be nice and sweet. They won't say anything like disrespectful, but like you can tell that we automatically become an obstacle because we're together, and we about to become holding hands, kissing, X, Y, and Z. And
What's the obstacle?
I mean, it's not necessarily an obstacle, but just because it doesn't make it right that it's happening still, like,
You
you know what I
said
mean?
you
Like,
feel that it became an obstacle, so I'm asking you, what is the obstacle?
um, I mean, I think it's different for everybody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and again, like there's times where people who aren't able to get jobs, like they just passed a bill saying that it's anti
That's not the Black community.
discriminatory
That's
stuff
not
like
the
that.
Black community.
I am answering the question. So you know what I mean? Like the idea that homophobia isn't it's not an obstacle. I mean, I think that you're looking at it on a very linear playing field. Like
I'm comparing.
there are obstacles, you know what I
I'm
mean, that
comparing systematic racism and the Black community in homophobia. So you said they passed the bill, they being the white system. Black people are not controlling that. Black people and the Black community and the homophobia within the Black community was not hindering people from getting these jobs, that they had to pass a law for that.
mm,
So again, I want to be clear in what it is that we're saying. You're comparing the homophobia in the Black community to systematic racism, and I
you
think
know
they're
what?
two totally different things. No,
Okay. Okay. I mean, I don't. I mean, that wasn't what my intentions were, but yeah. I mean, I'm not. I mean, again, like I just to answer your question, like if you want to talk about homophobia and you want, and again, the obstacles that are that comes with that, I mean, it does impact certain people's jobs and how they are able to move up and down the ladder. Like for instance, like I know a lot of what we were talking about last at the cookout where we gave the example of, you know, and again taking it to, I'm gonna use the barbershop as an example because it's just an easy reference, right? But we looking at
Pause 1 second. Do we need to take a commercial break?
Oh, yeah, we can let them know about the Dab the Ink coming out August 7th.
okay.
But he's coming back. He's right here.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I took care of it. He's not here. They can't see him.
Oh my God. Okay. Wasn't he the last person talking?
Yeah, he was, but I'll just fill in until he returns. I just again want to make clear of what we're saying. I get the argument, and I don't want Rain to feel like I'm discounting anything that he's saying, but I want everything to be in the proper context. The proper context. The Black community is not. You could talk about the barbershop and you don't like that experience and stuff, but guess what? You can leave that barbershop, go to another barbershop. You can learn how to cut your hair yourself, do whatever you want to yourself, right? But that's not systematically holding you back. The community as itself versus the system, so that's why I just keep pressing it. I keep pressing that issue, but I feel like he keeps pressing his point of view as if I don't get it. I totally get it though.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand it too. But you also said earlier that the LGBT, the homophobia that we experience in our own community, that is something that needs to be fixed, I guess, amongst those who are against it. Is that what I...
Homophobic people have to fix homophobia. If we're saying that racist people have to end racism, homophobic people have to end homophobia. Period. Nobody else. There's no way in the world you will ever get someone to stop hating you. You can't do it. Can't.
Okay.
I Googled it and I realized you can't.
I was gonna ask, I mean, like, have you experienced any of that phobia in your own day-to-day? Not day-to-day, but have you experienced it, considering that I guess you could be considered a coon in some people's eyes?
Listen, I don't like that. I don't like that word. I'm not a coon.
I don't like it either, honey, but I'm just saying in the context of what we were talking about. The help.
I'm sorry.
Huh? What was it?
I'm listening.
I was just saying, like, have you experienced that personally in your life? Any homophobia directed to you?
Yeah, from gay people.
Ooh.
That's it. That's my experience.
That's it. Okay. Interesting.
BTQQIPS. No, what is that? A 2SAA.
All them letters. I thought you put some letters and some numbers in it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think everybody has had their experiences, but my biggest attack, homophobia, whatever you may say, it's come from the gay community.
Welcome back, Rain.
My bad. You're
hello.
So Rain, when you left off, when we took the commercial break, you were speaking, but you took a break. So we had continued the conversation as far as I was asking Shamar about has he experienced any personal homophobia within the Black community, and he said he's only received it through the gay community.
Okay.
Have you? Oh, what you got to say, brother? Oh, oh,
I don't
oh.
think comments.
Okay, I saw you lean up and lean back. Okay. What
I had
about you?
a mouse.
Okay, okay. Rain, have you experienced any of that homophobia within the Black community?
Yeah, I mean, I have in the past. Yeah.
Mm. Um. Oh, and the question that I did, or the statement that Shamar did bring up, was that the Black people that are homophobic, they're the ones who's going to have to fix it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I gathered that. Yeah.
yeah, so do you remember where you left off, and would you like to continue?
I mean, I can. Well, I guess maybe just to kind of move I guess to keep the conversation where it was at. I guess like, I mean, I'm just really interested to hear uh Shamar's perspective on this. Like, I mean, you saying that you haven't really experienced it in the Black community, but you've experienced it in the gay community. Like, what exactly does that mean?
Well, it has been a Black community because there's been Black gays, but yeah, I think that in general, when we think of homophobia, we think of, people using some of those slurs, right? The F word and the sissy and the derogatory terms. Am I boring you?
Who are you talking to?
The one that's yawning.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, those derogatory terms, I think that's where a lot of people feel like homophobia lies. And I don't experience that, or I haven't experienced that growing up. I didn't get that type of taunting. I got taunted on my ears and things of that nature, but not, sexuality. So when I say homophobia in the sense of not acceptance of, my sexuality, it has from the LGBT community. Like I told you that being called or being called bitch, that's a trigger. That's a trigger for me because it's used in a catty sense. It's used in a very derogatory because it can't me for who I am and my years. I just told you that, my brother was like, you need to loosen up, you need to relax, you need to be more gay. And I'm just like, I don't understand what that stuff means. I'm being who my authentic self is. I hang around whoever I deem are.
Oh,
So he want me to answer the question, but he ain't gonna be here to listen to the question. I mean, listen to the answer, but you on camera. Now,
right.
he's not used to being on camera, guys. So that's what he does all the time at the studio.
What in the hell?
So I don't know if you're back, but I hope I answered the question. It's just been those have been my experiences of people not accepting who I am. And those people have been in the LGBTQI community. Is he with us?
Easy ever.
I'll let him figure that out.
Okay.
Hey, make sure you shop Native Noir brand. Look at that.
Yes. Thank you.
So tell us about your experiences.
I mean, I've gotten taunted and teased as a little kid, for being a little being feminine as a little kid. But see, I was called gay before I even knew what gay was. So then eventually I had learned what gay was. I was like, okay, that is me. But like, I mean, I wasn't like, it wasn't like a detrimental. Like, I figured like it was just being picked on like any other kid was picked on. Like, it didn't go to the point where I want to do harm to myself or others. Um, so as far as an adult, or as you getting, or have I gotten older, I feel like for me it's different because I think I live authentically however I want to live. Like, as you had stated earlier, you're not black enough. It's like, well, what the fuck does that mean? I am black, or um why do you talk that way? It's like, well, what do you mean why do I talk? It's just a lot of questions that I've had to deal with growing up, and still even now, where I really, it's just part of my development per se. um, so the black community not accepting me, or I don't really have a problem with the black community and my homosexuality, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because it's I mean, I know that it's an old tale. Not, I wouldn't say old tale, but I know that in our community, black community, it isn't. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you get Rain's phone is dying? So that's what happened. Somebody wasn't prepared. But your face, Shamar.
Yeah.
Screaming. But I stop laughing. I can't look at you. Um, yeah, I feel like there is I don't feel like the hate or the discomfort of certain black people against me, it doesn't hinder me from living my life, if that makes sense. Um, so I understand what you were talking about systematically. Like, I'm still gonna go to work. I'm still gonna do this. I'm still gonna do that. Like, because this our community. I mean, it does hurt that there's some people in our community that doesn't, go for me or like root me, or I don't know, pick me up because of my
Right.
lifestyle. But I'm just like, eh. I mean, that's something that's gonna have to be built upon, I believe.
I agree.
This
And
is hard.
that's just kind of my argument, as in, if it is not hindering you from living your life, then now I agree with kind of what Rain said at the cookout. Now the trans fight, that is a little bit different than the gay fight. I don't think that homophobia towards a gay man is hindering him from living his life and doing what he wants. Now, as far as trans, that could be a different story. I don't know their story. I do know that they are being killed by members of the black community. So hey, they may well have that argument,
Right.
but I don't think the majority of gay men and women can say that, you know, they are being attacked, they are being systematically oppressed because black community does not like them.
I'm pretty sure it can make it maybe discomforting. You know, it can be discomforting. I can imagine if you are a openly gay person in a, let's say if you were a gay man, flamboyant gay man, or excuse me, effeminate gay man that worked in a I don't know, should I say barbershop? I hate to use that example, but okay, in the I don't want to say the locker rooms of if it was the fact that you were a gay man working in a hyper masculine field, I do feel like it's going to be very uncomfortable. And I feel like those people, whether they're black or white, will make it a very uncomfortable for you. And I believe that it will take that individual to, whether fight or flight, if that makes sense.
But see, I think that, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. And if you say a barbershop, okay, fine. But a lot of what you're describing, you're saying a hyper masculine working environment. The black community does not control most of those working environments that we will possibly work in. So to that point, I think that we're merging when we say the Black community is not accepting LGBT, but then the examples that we give, the only thing that you can revert back, not you personally, but the only thing you can revert back to is the barbershop, but you can't tell me other ways. Now, I was expecting you to say the church.
Ooh.
I was expecting people to say the church.
Well, that's a whole different.
So now Rain talking to you and interrupting you from the shirt? Oh, my bad. I was about to. Okay.
You on camera?
Hey, Kia said like a gym. Do you feel like the gym would? But baby, the gays are the ones that run the gym.
We run the gym. Like, I mean, have you not seen our bodies? I mean, come on, we run that shit. Ooh, what she
said we know somebody that's been oppressed in it. I don't know who she's referencing. Of course, she can't drop their name, but maybe I'm just not thinking beyond it. I just.
I mean, no offense, brother, and I would say I think it is. You know, I'm not gonna say that because I feel like that'd be an attack upon you, and it's not fair. But as a person who can assimilate, well, I think that. Not saying you're not in touch, but maybe you just you can't. I don't know the words because you did not have to live this life. Maybe you cannot fully understand. I know that's why I was like, I don't want to fix your face. I wanted to not say it like that, but you know, like for us to say, and I hate to use the example as well. If there's someone was like, well, you know, like that white woman over there, like we can't experience what a white woman's life is like, you know.
Who cares? Who cares?
A couple episodes you said there was Karen, okay, or Karen,
Karen, them.
So don't we gotta sometimes? No, I'm kidding, but I think sometimes it is kind of hard to put ourselves in those shoes because.
But no. Let's be clear. What I'm saying, and first off, let me correct myself. That IDT, like I don't get abbreviations that well, so I kind of read that a little fast. What she was saying is that she knows, or we know, a gay man that worked in a hypermasculine environment. IDT stands for I don't think he was oppressed in it. So I misstated what she said earlier. But as far as what we're saying, I don't want it to be confused in what I'm saying. Just because you haven't walked in it. I walk in black every day. I get it. But guess what? I walk in my sexuality every day as well. I get it. I don't get being teased or being called those derogatory words. But what I'm saying is, how has that oppressed you? If you told me that your family disowned you and kicked you out and won't ever speak to you, you have no home to go to. You tell me that the church that you baptized in, you got kicked out of that. If you tell me those things, I can understand. But when you tell me, you know, you felt uncomfortable at the barbershop, I don't get that. To me, that is not saying that homophobia has oppressed you like systematic racism has. You see what I'm saying?
I see.
It's funny because we give the example of the barbershop, but we're the same ones that'll sit here and be like, the barber put his meat on my arm when he was cutting me, and I'm gonna get the barber and stuff. So we
no, don't say that we do that.
Exactly.
No.
You see how you just got triggered? You see how you just got triggered? That's the exact same thing that it feels like by saying the same thing about the black community. That's exactly how it feels to be triggered like that. Okay. And I that by design. So thank you for feeding into that, brother. I wanted to see what your reaction was going to be.
Where is Rain? Ugh, I guess, but I feel like the blacks and the blacks and church, the gays, that's like a topic for a whole nother day.
But if you would
That
have told me those things, maybe I couldn't know. If you would have told me, like I just said, that your family disowned you and kicked you out at 14 years old and you had to fend for yourself, which I know that's the story of a lot.
absolutely.
If you told me that, you got kicked out of that church and, they were funding you to go to school, they found out you were gay and they yanked your scholarship away, I can get that. But you telling me you just feel uncomfortable sitting at the barbershop, like that ain't. I can empathize with that.
Okay.
That is wrong, but it's not systematically oppressing you.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we're just I feel what you're saying, but I think it's so deeper than that. But yeah. And I'm sorry if coon is a trigger word for many people, but who said that first? I don't think I said that. Who said that?
I told y'all the stylist said that, and both you and Rain agreed with him. Like, yep, I see it. And then that pretty much was saying that I'm a coon, and I'm like, I'm by far not that. Because when Pulse happened, I was the first, well, I ain't gonna say the first one, but I spoke very loudly about Pulse and the impact that had on the community. When that young kid, Sheldon, I can't think of Sheldon's last name, but he was 14 years old. He committed suicide because they picked on him. I posted about Sheldon. I proudly posted about Sheldon, and I wanted to bring awareness. I created a project, to be able to photograph young queer LGBTQIA, PSS, PS4, PS5, whatever. I created a project to photograph the youth so that they can feel beautiful and understand that they care. So just because I don't sit around and say girl, or just because I don't sit around and be called a bitch or call you a bitch, does not mean that I'm cooning. It don't. Hell, I'm probably doing a little bit more work than most.
Okay. I receive this. I understand, but I feel like that is. Because to me, I know gay is so many different things, like or homosexuality, so many different traits, different this and that and that, and I think that I hope that you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I hope that you don't feel that all the gays are looking at you and want to girl you or Miss Ma'am, Miss Mamas, this, that. I hope really that all your experience with the gays.
It's not.
Okay.
My college roommate and one of my friends now that's in the chat, John, they are, they would be considered, a more feminine guy, a more clockable gay man.
Right.
We're close friends and everything. And just like I asked you all, just like I asked John at his house in front of y'all, John, have you ever called me girl? And he said no. I said, why not? He said, because I don't see you that way. I think that people will handle you the way they see you. Everyone has seen me a certain way and they handle me accordingly, except for the exceptions that will misgirl me or misthing me to be shady. That's the only thing I've ever experienced. I don't think, now you've done it, I don't think you were being shady.
Right.
That was in your mind. This is what I do, and I want you to relax, and I want you to be more comfortable and be more gay and be more accepting. And I'm like, I'm very accepting of who I am.
Now, I want to argue. I don't know if I necessarily say I want you to be more gay. I don't.
Those are the words you use.
My memory is fucked up.
Those are the words you use.
Okay.
Gone.
Okay, I'm gonna let you have that. But I guess in that moment, maybe that's not the term I wanted to use, and I know I wouldn't use that right now. I guess at that time, I just thought you were more.
But that was your perception. That was your perception. That's what
my perception, exactly. Yeah. And I do want to say that when I do use those words, girl, bitch, this, that, it's not, and I think you just said, like, it's not a way to demasculate you, or to be shady with you. It's a cadence. It's also like a a word of endearment. Wait, did I say that word right? Endearment. Endearment. When it comes to your circle, like it can be a word of, and I think, I mean, you clearly know that now. Like, when I'm talking to Rain, we do it all the time,
And
and
I think that's weird, but that's y'all thing.
it is our thing. But I mean, we're weird. But I mean, that's that. Yeah. So I hope that you can decipher, and then you just flat out just be like, look, don't call me that. Mm.
But why do I have to tell you that if well, one, we've had
Because
those conversations before.
you
We've
talking
had,
about me, you, me as your brother, or you just saying
oh, I thought
as a
that's what
whole?
it was.
Say that again.
I thought that's what you were talking about. So yeah, that is what I was talking about.
Oh, I mean, if you really want me to stop, I mean, I'll I will do my best and stop it. But
If you
okay,
really,
I'll stop. I'll
okay, I'm
stop.
Karen. If you
I'll
really
stop.
want me to stop calling you a nigger, I will try my best. Like, come on.
But brother, come on,
That was a reach. I didn't mean to go that far with
you
Karen.
went very far with that one. But I mean, if that,
That far.
excuse me, what was it?
I'm just being conversational right now because we're near the end of the show.
No. What I'm saying though, brother, like, I mean, if others, because again,
Look,
it is like a sister. I shouldn't say sister. It is like a family. When someone is like, "Hey, girl," this, that is it is.
you decide to do. Have I ever hey girl with you?
Yeah, actually, you have. You
No.
actually did. Hold up, because there might be things I don't like, but I would have said it. But I mean, you have called me ma'am. I never called you ma'am.
the
And I'm
only
like, bitch,
thing,
where the fuck you get that from? But okay,
only
ma'am.
thing, the only thing that I've ever said to you was Brister. You're my brother and my sister. That's the
I said
only
the
thing.
same thing to you.
So what are we fighting about right now?
Ain't nobody fighting. I'm just saying that
No. I mean, you're gonna do what you want to do. Plain and simple.
exactly, I'm gonna do what I want to do. But
So
at the
my
same time, I don't want my brother to be tense and all that other shit.
but
But
my
I'm
and the reason why I started it and said I did not want to be inclusive of the All Black Lives Matter and
mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm.
LGBT community, even though both of y'all took it there anyway. And you know why? I think that that's a defense mechanism and a tactic. To be very honest and candid, I think that's a tactic. Let's focus on that so we don't really have to dive into this issue. Because my thing is this: where I'm saying that collectively, are saying that the stylists, you all mad and stuff, and we understand why you're mad. Yeah, we need to tell the Black community to focus on us and to include us, but we're not inclusive within our own community. Now, a lot of the LGB, they may not. Well, I'm gonna just say the L's and the G's. They may not accept the T's and the B's and the Q's and the I's and the whomever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not inclusive. And even with the letter of itself, the G, you're sitting here telling me my gay is not as good as your gay, or it needs to be match yours, or it needs to match theirs. When we sit here and say, look, I don't want to be addressed as that. Well, girl, I'm gonna try, girl. Like, if we can't get it together within this little bubble, how do you expect and demand that the entire Black community gets it and accept it and be inclusive of it? Just my
Well, yeah, I think that there needs to be a conversation had within the gay community as well. You're right. I'll give you that, I guess.
always right. If I say it, I just spit all on the camera. My
I
bad.
bet you did. And
If I say it,
all right, girl. No, yeah, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm so joking. Only did that because I'm a shady bitch. I'm just kidding. Kia, don't come for me, girl. I'm kidding.
oh boy, stop. I mean, But that's all I got. You know, I
Did we
think
really even scratch the surface of what we were supposed to scratch?
y'all playing.
Ray said no. He is so bad. He is so.
That's just like me muting his camera at the studio. I mean, muting his mic at the studio.
That's exactly what he is actually screaming in the next.
So you know, I think that we as a whole, as people, black and brown people, because we've been oppressed. Just like have you heard of the thing hurt people hurt people?
I believe that, yes.
Oppressed people oppress people. I believe that too, you know. And we have to figure out, we have to go to therapy first and foremost. We got to figure this out because this is deep rooted shit that we're dealing with and that is within us. So we have to figure this stuff out. One, we have to accept and love ourselves first. And I wish I could cue the music because I am closing this out, brother, just FYI. So this is my last argument for the people. So we have to figure out how to love and accept ourselves first, be comfortable in the skin that we're in, and love our neighbor, our black and brown people. You know, no matter what walk of life they're in, we have to be able to lift them up. If nothing more than to have the additional numbers and resources on our side to be able to fight the systematic racism that we are within today. Sorry, I saw something going on the screen. So to be able to fight that systematic racism and everything else that we're dealing with today, you know, and I'm gonna rock with you. I'm gonna be here for everybody, and I love you. Now you can find me on all social media platforms. This feels so different than when we were recording.
Right.
So you can find me on all social media platforms at Alan Lux Studios. And I'm out of here. I'm turning it over to my brother.
Thank you, Brister. I just want to say that I'm going to piggyback on that, and I think that I said it. Thank you for not interrupting me. I think that just be comfortable in the skin that you are in, or try to be comfortable in the skin you're in, because at the end of the day, all you have is yourself. Cherokee loves you. You can follow me on Instagram at Cherokee the Native.
Duh, Native.
Duh, Native. And shop Native, NativeNoirBrand.com.
Absolutely. And in the absence of our good friend, I'm going to say that I really don't remember what he said because
he don't either.
But you can find him on IG because he will not do Facebook. He said Facebook is for the old heads. You can find him there at rain.o. That's R as in what, brother?
R as in Richard. I had an option.
A as in what?
A is in apple bottom.
Y as in what?
Why not follow me?
N as in Nazi.
E as in everybody's lives matter, but we don't believe that.
And O as in you better.
Oh, you better. Oh, wait, did you say vote? Did you say vote?
I don't know what I said.
Oh, well, you should vote too.
All right, and that's been our show. I hope y'all enjoyed this. This was our first time running this live. Like we said, we will give you all a pre-recorded episode in our studio every 2 weeks. And the week that we don't give you all that, which was this week, we will come here live with you guys. So make sure you all like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, and they tell a friend. Come in here and let's do this every weekend, but not really the weekend. I was just trying to rhyme, but make sure you do it on Tuesday. And yeah, we out.
What he said. Bye. Cut the shit off, bro. Bye.